Richard the Dick Coughlan, 616. Yes, yes. You're not having a stroke. You're not on drugs. Unless you are. You're my audience, you probably are. No, no one died. I didn't have a job interview, and I didn't have to go to court. And, yeah, you're probably thinking, where did you find that? I don't know. I didn't even know I had it. I thought I'd lost it 4 years ago. Yeah, and you might be thinking, worrying, going, oh, Coughlan's Condelifying now. I'm going for the kind of Christian Bale in American Psycho kind of look. The trouble is, I look like I'm out on bail as a sort of demented pedo. That's what I'm going for. So, the old white collar and that, look a bit like a sort of 1980s yuppie. And to be honest, that still puts, even if it was 1980s, that still puts my politics at least 30 years ahead of Pat Gondell, who uploaded a video earlier, and this video is not a response to him, by the way, but he uploaded a video earlier. Nothing more racist than a liberal racist. See, Pat thinks it's important when you hate people based on their ethnicity. It matters more whether you're a liberal or you're a conservative. And of course, you know, he sits there and talks about how it's liberals who are the racists, not him. I thought I'd top the old bastard, and I thought I'm going to make a video now about real racists, and it's not because they're right-wing, it's because they're mental and they're funny. So I got the shirt, and I thought I've got the, and I'm going to go one more. I'm going to put the tie on. So yeah. So that alone is pwned already, okay? A few years ago, when I realised I was doing lots of videos that were going to be sort of heading towards the sort of things about nationalism and racism and Nazis and white supremacists and all this other weird nonsense that goes along with it, I started doing this thing one that I kind of did it by accident. The activity is what I call racist website safari hunt. The idea is you go on a bookmarking spree. Now, I am a massive bookmarking freak. I'm a bit OCD. I like to collect as much research as I can. I like to be able to read and know what I'm talking about. I know that's weird around here. So, because I was doing lots of stuff about far-right, white supremacists, nationalists, Nazi extremists, I better go to a lot, find out where these sites are. I didn't know where to find them. So I went to one, but I went there and I ended up doing this where you go to the links. You go to the links section, where it's got all other shitty little websites, and then what you do is you open every single one of those links, you bookmark all them, and then you go to each of those individual sites, you find the links page, and you bookmark all them, and you do it with everyone. It spreads out like a sort of tree of life. I mean, this is what the internet for me is for. It's like Skyrim. It's like an infinite plane I can discover, but it's not quests I go on. It's just huge amounts of derp. Over the course of the last 4 years, I've amassed probably around about 250 plus bookmarks of websites. But for the most part, a lot of them just sat there idle, and I thought, because I look at these sites all the time, and so do the people I'm responding to, but you guys, the ordinaries, the proles, like the normals, the normalos, you don't do this. I'm going to show you the more sort of the lighter side of going to endless streams of Nazi websites, basically. I'm going to show you the bits that always give me a giggle. I've picked a selection of ones today. I don't know how long this video will be. It'll be as long as it's going, but it's going to be good. It's going to be entertaining, it's going to be interesting, and we're probably going to learn nothing. But we're going to have a bit of fun. And that's really what it's about these days, isn't it? Because it's better than talking about fucking rape again. So I'm going to start now with the first website, which is called GetSome88. Here is the front page. Now, a GetSome88 does sound to me to be a little bit like some sort of granny dating site. It's like a sort of gilf festival. Without a doubt, the most consistently funny area you will find in any white supremacist Nazi website, it's the merchandise store. GetSome88. 88, of course, you know, some of you may be aware of this. This is 88 is actually just code for HH, because it's the 8th letter of the alphabet, and HH is Heil Hitler. It's brilliant, isn't it? Very clever. People think they're stupid. They're not. And on the left side there, you've got the menu. Let's go to the menu. This is the menu here. And you've got clothing, flags, patches, music, pins, books, suspenders and braces, artwork, stickers, bundles, shades / sunglasses, and mugs. This is one of the girls' shirt. Now, she is far too attractive to be on one of these sites, and she doesn't look too Aryan to me. You'll see this throughout the course of these websites. They talk about women. They have women's sections, women's divisions, and stuff for women, but you never see the women. I don't think they're there. Now, this was a disappointment to me when I clicked on this. If there's one thing I've been lacking, it's a pair of socks with a picture of a fucking cattle truck filled with Jews on it. Who does not want a pair of fucking white nationalist socks? Now, these are some books. Yeah, they have books. Obviously, you know, I don't know if they read them. Here we have Deceived, Damned and Defiant, 3D, Dudley Death Drop. But this is an interesting book, Might is Right, which is an interesting philosophy or an interesting position to take when you are presently representing the side that's losing. Might is wrong, in your case then. What do you really want around the house? Socks, books, that's all sort of luxuries. You need a fucking mug. You need a coffee mug. A mug to drink your tea out. Everyone's got their own mug. You want a Triple H mug. Not the wrestler. No, not the wrestler. Hitler, Hess and Himmler mug. Yes, look at that. And look how beautifully designed, how evenly the photos line up. They look like they're just super glued fucking pictures to this. It's $9.95. However, if you're someone who works in an office or a place where you have to take a mug with you, I will happily lick and suck any area of your body. If you go to work for a week with this mug, show them in the office, you know, you're not going to be bothered by all this political correct tolerance meetings and sensitivity training. Go in with your White Pride Worldwide mug. Now, I wanted to go look at other parts of this website, but unfortunately with this website, it won't show you everything unless you log in. And it's not the sort of website I want to log into. I'm bothered about whether these people are trustworthy with any information they might be able to acquire. I signed up for an account, but I thought I'll do this cleverly. Well, the first thing they do is ask for your email, right? So I gave them an old email address, name. I'll use a pseudonym. They won't know. Right? I went right, Phil Mason. Right? So I called myself that. And then they asked for my phone number. I thought that's really weird, and I definitely don't want to give them my phone number. However, I did have DPR Jones's phone number, so I put that in. And then it asked for my address, and I definitely don't want to give them that. So I gave them Zornstar's home address. So, to Zornstar, Thunderfoot and DPR, just so you know, there's a bunch of Nazi white supremacists who have some of your personal details. Just a heads up. So I signed in, got an account. This is where the menu you get then. One thing I do like is the returns. I mean, who's going to return a swastika armband? I'm sorry, this just wasn't racist enough. And a wish list. You can sit there and go, oh, I want that Himmler mug. The thing that did interest me was there was a section you could click on, and it was a gift voucher. You can actually send someone an electronic gift voucher from this website. So I thought, I'll fill it in. So here it is. This is the one I filled in. Recipient's name, Pat Condell. Recipient's email, oldballsandfear@hotmail.co.uk. I don't know whether that's his email. And your name, Martin Jinglebells Willett. It's a Christmas gift, whatever. Little message, don't show this to your new Zionist friends. Amount £1. But now we're going to move on to one that's actually a little bit classy. But it's still, you can tell when you look at it, it's still the same there, but they've been a bit more subtle with it. And it's a bookshop. It's called Stephen Books, but it's just Stephen Books. Not really a lot of effort put in that name. What should we call the store? Gary? No, Stephen. This is on the blurb. For over 10 years, League Enterprises, Stephen Books, have been a prime source of booklets published over many years by radical political groups. The listing on this website of such books and pamphlets, however, does not imply our agreement with the views expressed in these publications. We simply provide access to these publications. Sure, you fucking did. Then he says, we leave it to the reader to form their own opinions about the views expressed in these publications. Right, then this is a bit. And in particular, the questions raised by the publication about the Jewish Holocaust. Many books and articles have been written on the subject, with most of which have been one-sided, but seem to have been limited value and serious research and very unbalanced for this. If you read the fucking Holocaust. I mean, we don't necessarily endorse. Listen to that. I went to their menu, much more clearer. Look at that, straightforward. Black House publications, not really a fucking good idea. Well, basically they've got these categories, but they're all pretty much the same thing. I mean, Oswald Mosley, the fascist, British Union fascist, pre-British Union fascist paper. They were just racist without a pie. Fascism, which is just the same thing. Union movement, same thing. National Socialism, it's all the same thing. League of blah, 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 blah. Imperial Fascist League, British People's Party. British people know how to pie. Jewish Holocaust. William and Joyce, couple, they used to go wife swapping. Race. Anti-communist, which is just fascist again. Again, they're running out of it there. Economics, well, we killed the Jews, we got all their gold. Religion, obviously. Conspiracy theories, which ironically, when you go to websites like this, conspiracy theory are the opposite way round. Miscellaneous, always a worry, and links. So I want to have a look around. I'm just going to show you some of the books that they have. And they're called books. They're actually downloads, but there's no sort of book there. It's just some stuff that's been written. And I'm not joking, you can either get it on PDF or a Word document. Who the fuck is going to pay money for a download of a Word document? The fucking superior race, man. This is the first book they found. I know revisionist history is one of their strong points, but The Triumph of Reason, the thinking man's guide to Adolf Hitler. He didn't triumph. He lost. And there was a reason he lost. The thinking man's guide. I want the dribbling spastics guide. It's probably the same book. Now, this is a bit of a weird one. Action Replay. It's not that. It's just the fact this guy's Jeffrey Ham. How much do you have to hate Jews, really? Tomorrow We Live. What the fuck are we supposed to do today then? Mosley's Men in Black. I've got a funny feeling that was made later on in that, I think. But saying that, Men in Black, they were dealing with beings from another planet who were coming here and causing trouble. Mosley dealt with Jews. Basically, what I'm saying is the Men in Black movies, starring Will Smith, are basically anti-Semitic fascist propaganda. Mosley's Black Shirts, they do several versions of it in different places, and they kind of end up sounding like a sort of stupid National Lampoons. Black Shirts on Sea. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Oh, I do like to commit genocide. Black Shirts and Roses. So yeah, I think Mr. what's it so-called Axl Rose. You owe someone some money. I mean, it's amazing how many people, Men in Black, Guns N' Roses, black shirts in Geordieland. This is just Geordie Shore, but with the people that are not as orange. This is an interesting book, The Psychotic Left. Jason, there's a hockey mask, that's the left there. So if you've ever responded to an argument by claiming that someone has some sort of mental disorder or illness, purely because you haven't got an argument against them and you want to try and make them look mentally unstable, then you're basically just doing what Nazis do. I think that's all we need to know. Now, this is a good book. This is a book I definitely want to read. The Dilemma of Interracial Relations. Two things about this. Well, three things really. One, if you saw the kind of stuff that I had on my inhumanly long pornographic video playlist on my computer, you would know I don't really have any dilemma. Looking at this guy, look at the guy's picture. Is that a guy who looks like he knows much about any relations whatsoever? And no one's ever gobbed on him. I don't think they even look at him. No one's ever in one way breathed in his direction because they found him that repellent. And not only that, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't his name Robert Gayer of Gayer? This is a guy I want to take advice from on what to do when I'm dealing with ghetto booty. This one's great. Lincoln's Negro Policy, which I think is going to have to be enforced by Lincoln's Negro Police. We could get Jamie Foxx and get Quentin Tarantino. They could just do Django Unchained 2. Lincoln's Negro Police by Ernest Servier Cox. Ernest Servier Cox. Are these people trolling? Slavery, the facts. Robert Smythe. Facts. They had 42 days paid holiday a year, Christmas party. Everything like that, they were given health insurance. They were taken very good care of, And we let them have their own names. They didn't just wear dungarees. They slept in the veranda. We had health and safety meetings every Tuesday morning, high visibility jackets. And yes, we didn't pay them any money, but they also didn't pay any tax. And how many people would love to swap places with them now? This isn't relevant. You know this one's going to come in, this one's going to be there, and you can see it's obviously a bell curve written by Bell End. But I just like the fact that it's IQ and racial differences, and it's the book is brown. There are other books. I found one about I think it's about the Holocaust. I'm not too sure. It's from the title that Bold Font, did 6 million really die the truth at last? Why don't they just put no on the front? Because I think they're kind of giving it away, aren't they? This is one of the most confusing titles I've ever read in my life. Think about this. This is a book you're buying on a website that someone's written. It's called Hidden Secrets Behind Freemasonry. So the book is blank. You saw what you're saying. Hidden Secret Behind Freemasonry. Masonry, I don't care what Thunderfoot gets up to in his spare time, but hidden secrets behind Freemasonry. Unknown, unquantifiable mysteries exposed in this gripping pamphlet. Now this is a very good book. This one's necessary because, we know what people are like, particularly in this country, animal welfare in the Third Reich. Because I always wondered, are the horses that are dragging the big carts, that are full and overladen with piles of dead Jews, are they being looked after? Are they being fed properly? Are they not pulling too much weight? You don't want them to stress them. It's not easy. And of course, just to show that the stop clock gets it right twice a day, there's always something for everyone. Even the Nazis have a good idea. They did release a book. And I think given things being talked about on YouTube now, this is very, very relevant. And this is called A Woman's Place in National Socialist Germany. A picture of a man saying, "Get out." By Keith Thompson. Keith, ladies, do you want to be told in a book where your place is by a man called Keith? Name one Keith. Who's that? No. Chegwin? No. Keith Harrison Orville? No. Keith Richards? Okay, I'll give you that. Keith Flint from The Prodigy? Yeah. But that's it. Everyone else called Keith is stupid. Now the next website is, in my opinion, the best one I've seen so far in terms of merchandise, in terms of what you can get, the different types, and the effort that's put in. It's a bit more imaginative. There's a magical place, we're on our way there. Oh, the millions of Jews and they're under the ground. It's called Toys R Us. This is a place called Tightrope. As you can see at the top there, its little subheading is, "It's not illegal to be white yet." Front page of the website, it's got all this stuff there. This is basically, I thought it was just stuff they were selling, but it's actually just an Andrew Dice Clay routine. They've got a kids section for the clothing. They don't have a women's section. They have a man section and a kids section. What's going on there? They have kids' t-shirts, and I want to show you this. Don't tell me this is not adorable. Look at him in his little white pride, and if that didn't melt your heart, look at the little pink Hell Hey Hitler. Isn't she lovely? They've got some stuff that's a bit more topical as well, stuff that's keeping up with the times. This is one of their newer items. It's the Fuck Trayvon hoodie. You've had Justice for Trayvon. Well, it's only fair that we have the Fuck Trayvon hoodie. Justice for Trayvon. No, fuck Trayvon. They've got a very sort of bit risque, but very sort of satirical parody of Barack Obama for the 2012 election. There you are. There he is there. Obviously looking like a chimp. This next one. This is something they sell on the website. It's two concepts I would never have thought to put together, but these guys did, and fair play to them. They're innovators. You ready for this? Pro-white balloons. Don't tell me that doesn't sound a little bit curious to you. These are the basic ones. They've got the red balloon with swastika, and they've got the black balloon with the wiper. How pissed were they? Who sits there when you've got, right, I've got 50 fucking angry white supremacist skinheads coming round to, you know, kick the shit out of each other. What do we need? Fucking balloons. You know what Dave's like? He loves his fucking balloons. He gets to hit the helium on it and he puts it on his wrist and he goes, yeah. Fucking balloons. Get a bouncy castle while you're at it. You saw the mouse pads at the start. Some of them are quite, they're a bit more subtle. I want you to know, this isn't as bad as it looks. So this is this one. This sticker is allowed to say nigger because it's black. Now, I don't care what you say. Look at it in just a plain context of something. Imagine I did it. Right? But there's an irony to it because nigger is actually white on it. And also, it can't say it. A person says it reading it. So who's actually saying it? The next one is more like a sort of a logo, a warning sign. It's pretty much to the point. I think we get it. It's always the woman who's white and the man who's black. Do you think there's some sort of penile issues going on here? Some of these aren't as thoughtful. They're just a bit straightforward. Fuck yous. I think that's one they did at the last minute. Peanut butter, it's a recipe, not an invention. Now, this is actually a response to, constantly, they were always asking, name one person, black person who invented anything. One of the first ones, or one of the earliest inventions of black people was peanut butter. These people want to deny that black people ever invented anything, so they say that they made it up. It's lying. Now, I have to say, if you are sat there, you've never invented anything, surely you would nick something good. You'd nick the telephone, you wouldn't you? Or the fucking steam engine. You wouldn't say, I'll nick peanut butter. It makes no sense whatsoever. Now, they do a series of badges as well, and I'm only going to show you one, because I just don't have a clue what it's for. It's Geraldo Rivera, with, I don't know, spunk on his face. It's a Geraldo button. Why would you want to wear that? I asked myself that whilst thinking, I want to wear that. Now, the final place I'm going to go take you to on Tightrope was actually a forum there. The forum's pretty basic and all that, so it's the usual kind of deal. But there was one thing at the bottom, and it caught my eye. I'll show you what the actual topic was. Dating service. Find hot singles in your area. And now this website's been around for probably going 5-6 years, I don't know. So I thought, well, this is the other end of that sort of, this is the opposite end of the computer screen, where it shows you the sort of thread activity. Threads one post, posted in 2010 by a bloke called Byron. I'm wondering how he feels about that, because if that was me, if I'd written that, and 3 years later it was still sat there, you would kind of start feeling a little bit, you know, I could just picture him now, feeling it's quite sad. Byron sat there at home, his little pyjamas on that are like striping, he's got his little badge, Goering and Goebbels slippers. He's sat there with Eva, it's a picture of Eva Braun's face, sellotape to a lilo. They've got a massive framed picture of Hitler, and he just sort of occasionally, he looks off into the distance and just looks into the picture, it's just, you know. You know, you was hoping I was going to know the whole song then. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this jaunt down a racist website, internet, safari hunt. There's going to be a war, don't worry. I think we've all learned something. These people are definitely racist. I'm definitely not. I do not need shirts and smart clothes to make me look good and respectable, because quite frankly, only God or a large bag could do that. I think we've learned something today. If you know what it is, can you email it to me so I can add it on and mention it in the next video. This is Richard the Dick Coughlan. Anti-white PC mangina. Activate.